Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Henry and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a little bit of a space theme going on. Recently there is the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11. So first people on the moon, woo! Hopefully we're going back there soon. But today I just want to quickly talk about the guidance computer that they used on the Apollo missions. And chances are you probably already know about this if you're watching this video, but just in case if you don't, the actual source code itself is available online and you can actually go download the source code for this wonderful little piece of amazingness online. I'll put the link to this in the description, but the actual site is really easy to use. And they show projects that people have already done with this. So of course there's like iPhone apps, there's many simulator games you can download, everything you can access. And again, this is all free. You can download and they have a lot of different repositories. So you can download an actual simulator, so an actual software to your Mac, Linux, Windows, whatever. But the cool thing is that they also have a Raspberry Pi distribution. So if you wanted to, you could actually install it on a Raspberry Pi, use the GPIO input output, and you can actually like make your own physical unit, which is so cool. And it's a project I actually want to do and get like little LCD screens and buttons. And now, before we get into the cool part of today's video, I just want to say that the actual computer itself, the actual block computer, it was revolutionary in its time in the 60s, right? Like, this thing was absolutely fantastic for what your freaking cell phone obviously has more powerful processing power than this. But that being said, this thing was amazing. And the fly-by-wire system that this thing was really paved the way for fly-by-wire that we see today. It was basically the grandmother or grandfather of the space shuttle computer. Um, and basically the grandparent of all modern day fly-by-wire systems. And it all started here. So being able to play with this today on your personal computer, that's a remarkable feat. That's amazing how far we've come. So again, I'll put the link to the actual project site, the actual site you can download the virtual copy of this. But today I want to show you the easier way. If you're not as techy but you still want to play around with the computer, this is the Java version. So they basically took all the writing and they put it into Java code so you can use the computer itself all on your internet browser. So Firefox, Chrome, whatever, you can actually use it and simulate it all in your web browser now. And that's nuts. You can just bring out your cell phone or desktop, laptop, whatever, go to this, and you can basically just run your own Apollo mission. And that's the cool part, is that they actually have the flight plans in the actual system itself. So we can play around with it. The amazing part about this is that the computer itself is super simple for what it had to do, in the sense that it ran basically on two buttons. And if you look here to the left, you have the verb button and the noun button. So we aren't spelling here, but the way the computer works is that for every verb, there's 100 nouns. So it's an easy way to sort different functions. So like if I say verb 01, then you'd have 99 noun functions. So it could say like noun 03, it might be like a timer or something. So the cool thing is that like if I say verb 36, I think it is, enter. No, okay. I think it's verb 35, which is a test of the lights. Yeah, so it tests all the lamps and stuff, and it tests so then you could see physically all the lamps and stuff are working. So it's cool functions like that. And now it's all running. So let's just turn that off for a second. 36, enter. Okay, cool. And the cool thing I just want to show you is I can actually run through the launch sequence. So you can actually count down and simulate it. So we'll launch the IMU or EMU here. It takes 30 to 90 seconds here just to like go through the system's checks. So right now it's just doing its own thing. That's the thing. It's fully simulated, so it has to do its own timing. You do this in real time. So yeah, right now it's going through its system checks and everything else. And it does have a launch checklist here. So I opened up in a new window. And we're just going to do a simulated Saturn V launch, which is really cool. We're going to take off to the moon all. Okay, there you go. The magic of editing. Here we are, around a minute 30 past, and we can see our no at button is now dim. So that means we can go and proceed. So now we have a special command. So it's V, so verb 37, enter. And then we have to say 01, enter. for now. Enter. And there you go, program 01. All right, so it's going to take a few seconds. We're going to see our gimbal kind of go to 90 degrees here. So simulating that we're up 90 degrees, we're getting ready for launch. There you go, everything's moving. It's all getting calibrated there. Should be around 90 degrees, close enough. There you go. So we're actually ready to launch. And pretty much now all we have to do is say launch and we can launch. So real life, countdown, going through the final checks. And as soon as we say launch, this thing is going to count down from 3 seconds. So let's do it. Is everyone ready? Here we go. So launch. So stage 1, computer will light up here, plus 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, launch. And we will see everything come to life here. Now this guy updates every 2 seconds, so that's why we see a little bit of a delay here. You have the old computer activity button, so when the computer is actually thinking. So every 2 seconds the display is actually updated, but we can see everything start to come to life here. Slightly pitches back as the rocket begins to ascend. Now we have 3 different numbers here. So this is Apollo 11, so the program, but the first number right here, so R1, is velocity in feet a second. So you can slowly start seeing that tick up there. So just under 400 feet. Second one is the altitude rate, so feet a second. So 400 feet a second, that's pretty darn fast. The third number is feet above the pad in nautical miles. So it's like the last one is a decimal. So right now we're around like 3.9 nautical miles, 4.3. And you can start to see everything start to speed up. So again, you're getting higher and higher. So the calculations are the higher you get, less air there is. So less air resistance, the faster you can go. And it's amazing because like you can start to see here on like your gimbal, you can start to see the rocket really start to pitch, and your pitch coordination right here, everything is working and everything is good to go. Now, if you want, you can monitor the actual orbit parameters. So you can say Burb 82 and enter. And it's going to switch to different numbers here. Oh, these guys, so the apoapsis, so like the apocenter, I'm just butchering today. The apocenter is the first one right here, and that is in nautical miles. The pericenter is second, and the time to free fall is in the bottom. So 59 minutes, 59 seconds. That's obviously not right because we're still ascending. But to the right here, you have your different stages. So we are still in the main stage, and then of course, second stage separation, and then of course, final one, getting into orbit here. So it's just amazing how you can actually look at this system and be able to follow through, and you're able to literally simulate all your different launches. It's just a remarkable piece of technology. Again, everyone, I just love this. You can try it out for yourself, play around with it, shut down the engine, see what happens. But again, it's just amazing to see this online, you know, and be able to access this and to be able to have this running on your own computer at home. And again, what do you guys think? Do you think this is pretty cool? Have you played with this yet? Have you guys made your own physical Raspberry Pi version? I want to hear that below in the comments. But I mean, it's amazing how far we've come in 50 years. Hopefully we're going back really soon. They say we want to go back to the moon and maybe Mars. Would you go on the mission yourself? Would you go if you could? Or would you like things to develop a little bit more up there? Let us know in the comments below. But yeah, it's a really exciting thing to do. And I know this is just numbers, and a lot of you might be like, oh, this is boring, you're just looking at numbers. But personally, I think this is really, really cool from a nerdy standpoint from someone like myself. This is what the astronauts were seeing as they were ascending to the moon. And I don't know. I think it's really cool. I think it's great you can run it on a JavaScript on your web browser. But yeah, let me know what you all think below. Have you guys played around with it? What do you think of this? Do you think it's really cool? Do you think it's boring? Have you ever played around with this? Do you use any amazing space simulators? Do you use Kerbal Space Program? Do you use Orbiter? Let us all know in the comments below. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, fly safe and happy landings. Even if it's on the moon. Just do it. Just take me with you. Because space is really, really cool. We're almost there, guys. We're only 4 days away from the moon now. It's like 5 minutes into the launch. We're almost there. Okay.